Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to SPW, where all of the matches are one and done, and I don't know what's going to happen anymore than you do. I'm your host, Nick, and if this is your first time here, thanks for joining us, and do the thing like subscribe, because tonight, here is the debut of a comic book classic hero, Nova, from the Nova Corps of Marvel. I'm hoping, and, it's been talked about since, it's been years, honestly, but Nova, one of those characters that is heavily rumored to make his debut in the MCU at some point. It's been talked about, still hasn't happened, but he's basically kind of like, if you know the Green Lantern Corps, the Nova Corps is sort of the same thing in Marvel, and Nova, this is, I guess in the comics, this is Richard Rider, and to be honest, he comes down to the ring 6'1", 190 pounds, and this is his debut on SPW. So he's debuting here. Maybe one day he'll debut in Marvel. I do not know, but I truly hope, because he was definitely a good character. Again, I mean, I guess if you're unfamiliar, you could kind of compare him to a Green Lantern, even though his power set's very different. But he is going up against a character that he should have come up against in the movies already. Starlord, Chris Pratt. Or you may also know him as Peter Quill. Coming down to the ring, he stands 6'2", weighs 175 pounds, but Starlord, I feel like kind of took the place of Nova a little bit in the first, iteration of the Avengers, and when we finally got to Endgame and everything. Like, he was a big deal, and he's still around. I mean, you gotta love Chris Pratt. You can't just let him go away. So, Chris Pratt's still in the MCU. They've said that Starlord will return. I mean, that's what it said at the end of the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And I feel like that may be why. Because there's a lot of intergalactic stuff that they still intend to do in the MCU. They've talked about it. I mean, obviously, the next saga is going to be kind of, we've been calling it the Mutant Saga. But Marvel, time and time again, has said that they still want to do intergalactic stuff. And I feel like, obviously, with James Gunn's departure to the DC, creating the DCU, that, Guardians of the Galaxy may not be it, but you've got Nova. And, Nova, again, like, he just is kind of one of those characters that shows up all the time in the comics, because, anytime there's sort of an intergalactic issue. I mean, right now they've got Captain Marvel, but really Nova, I feel like, filled that role a lot of the time. Because he was almost like assigned to, protect Earth. So that's why, I think, I'm pretty sure Richard Rider was an Earthling, and that's why he got the call. Kind of like, again, that's where the comparisons to the Green Lantern come into play. But right now, Peter Quill on the attack, and already kind of ruling the roost, you might say. He's got the crowd on his side, but, as soon as I say it, counter and a headbutt. But also, if you didn't notice, we are in our multiversal arena. This is our space arena, you might say. I just kind of felt it appropriate for these two, because this is our first ever, you might say, space police match. And as a matter of fact, because of that, this is a Falls Count Anywhere. So just because it's a space match, we're giving them extra space to wherever they need to create that pin or submission. That's the only reason the ref is in there, because otherwise I'm pretty sure weapons are totally allowed, as they often are here on SPW. But right now, getting back to the action at any rate. Oh my goodness, what is that move? Oh, incredible powerbomb. Wow, that actually, it had such torque. It looked like it hurt both of them. And then a body splash into a pin from Nova. Like I said, Nova making his debut. He's out here to prove something. We've had Peter Quill in at least a few matches. It's been a little while since we've seen him, so I just felt like this was a good opportunity to kind of get him back out there, Get him, just like in the MCU. It's been a minute. But already he's the first one. He's drawn a kendo stick from under the ring, and so far it hasn't really been a factor, because look at the strength right now on display from Nova. Oh, wow. Carrying him over his head. Oh, and a big body splash once again into an elbow drop. Nova showing some moves. for a guy who, again, has been waiting in the wings, you might say, for years. I mean, they set up Nova with probably like the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and since then, there's been a lot of talk of whether or not he'll show up. But oh, sweet chin music! Absolutely dropped Starlord. But like I said, as of yet, we have not seen Nova in the MCU. But I definitely have high hopes for the future. I think he's going to be. He may be what kind of brings, I think, Peter Quill potentially back into the mix. I think these two would make a great, kind of like a buddy comedy, Like one of them's the strict, by the rules police officer, and then the other guy's the wild card, being Starlord. It'll be just like if they do it right, and listen to me, Marvel, if you see this, if you do it right, Nova and Starlord could be just like Lethal Weapon in space. You got Briggs and Murtaugh. Let's make it happen. I don't want them to be like, oh, I'm too old for this. Maybe this one, it'd be Starlord. You flip it, Anyways, back to the action. This is just me waxing poetic and hoping for the best for the future. But oh my goodness, look at that! We are getting our first out of the ring pin, and it was a 2 count. Nova was absolutely stunned, and he's just over there by the commentators. Referee now, kind of checking him out, making sure he's okay, but taking the opportunity. Starlord, gets a kendo stick. Repeatedly smacks Nova, breaking it over the helmet. It's a good thing he's got a helmet in there. And then now the commentator's looking to get out of the way. Oh my goodness. Starlord kind of seeing red right now. Look at this. Going after Nova. Nova's already stunned, but repeated moves out there on the concrete. I mean, we're out here in our multiversal arena, like I said, and every single piece of this place looks like it's made of metal. And when we're talking metals, I mean, if this is space, who knows? This could be adamantium. It could be anything, frankly. But it definitely doesn't look like padding. I'll just throw that out there right now. Ooh, repeated knees. And then a pinfall. 1, 2. Oh, not even a 2 count. Star-Lord able to kick out. But finally, Nova able to get some offense mounted. And look at this. Oh! Thought he was going for a powerbomb. Drops him onto the knees. More of a knee spine buster of sorts. Incredible. But right now, look at this. Oh! Again, putting his strength on display, and now Peter Quill in a bad way. Nova is fully in command. But, wait a minute! Who got stunned? I can't even tell. 1, 2, 3! It was Nova! Nova beat Peter Quill! Just like that, I couldn't even tell. It looked like Nova, they were both laying flat. It's almost like he knocked himself out. But he just happened to be on top, and that's all that matters when you're in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Incredible. All right, that might have been our first time we finally got an outside of the ring pinfall where both men were unconscious. But how about that? A successful debut from Nova. Impressive, going up against Star-Lord. Who do you want him to go against? Let me know, because I'm curious. Now that we've got Nova in SPW, he's officially on the roster. Who would you like to see him go up against next? Leave a comment in the comments. Leave your request in the comments. And like I said, I always try and get your guys' requests on the channel. As a matter of fact, we got a request coming up on Thursday, and it's going to be a title match. So do the thing, like, subscribe, stick around for that, and we'll see you guys next time. Good night.